I'm gonna have to step off to get a snack. I know I am. I'm starving. But we need to start because it's late. Blame Tyler. And because Tyler likes it when we start this way, I'm gonna play some Not Tetris. Anyway, welcome to Under Construction. It's a series where I build in trains, but also play Not Tetris. Or perhaps you could say I don't play Tetris. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna rush this. We're gonna see how well this goes, and the answer I'm sure is going to be poorly because we're not that good at Not Tetris. I'm wondering if I'm ever going to beat that one score that I had a couple weeks ago. No! Oh no! Oh, that was so close to perfect. So close to perfect. Alright. But you know what? If I'm rushing, it probably will mean that there will be less Not Tetris because I'm not as good as it when I'm rushing. I'm not as good at it. Ooh, look at that. We're going to get a double. And so then Tyler will be happier. Tyler made us late, and now he gets to be happy, which, you know, you guys be the judge on what you think of that. Oh, and I didn't post the thing either. I didn't post the link. No wonder why nobody's here yet. But yeah, if you're watching the VOD, you can skip this if you want. But I think today is going to be a relatively AI-heavy episode. Since we're starting late, I'm just sort of going to look at the to-do list. There's Tyler. And figure it out. It's live. I can't skip this. I wonder how that happens. What's your favorite candy? Does that say candy or candle? I can't see. It's off the side of the candy. I don't know why I thought you were going to ask candle. Oh, crap. I've clicked off of it. That worked out not as bad as it could have been. Favorite candy? That is a tough one. Peppermint patties are always a win. Mint stuff is always a win in general. Milk duds are great, but they kill my teeth. I feel like I'm having a chocolate theme here. Maybe like Twix. I don't have Twix often enough. Favorite candy? Yeah, it's probably Twix. I think I once in my life said Rolo, and people have carried that. People have like given me Rolo candies rather frequently, and I do not have the heart to ever say like, well, actually, I would rather have whatever. No, it's a gift. You know, you enjoy it. But I get told, oh, yeah, I got you this. It's your favorite candy, and I'm like, sure is. But I mean, rollers are good. I'm not gonna say that they aren't. Yeah, Junior Mints are good. I used to like Mike and Ike's a lot. I don't like the fruity candies so much anymore. Or even the sour candies. You know, I used to do sour Skittles all the time. I got a bag of sour Skittles for when I went to see John Wick 4 last week. Now over a week ago. But Gloria injured themselves, so we have not been able to record. So, yeah. Episode on John Wick 4 coming sooner or later. Of the real list. It's going quite well, actually. Perhaps too well. That worked out nicely. I'm going to turn this guy pointy end up. Used to like candy that was a cylinder? I'm not sure what you mean. Cylinder. What candy is a cylinder? So when do you reach the Industrial Revolution? What happens is, when I'm done with Not Tetris, then we go play in Tollprint. That's the Industrial Revolution. But I'm doing okay. I'm hungry. I kind of botched my usual setup, and I didn't need anything, so we will probably be doing AI so that I have an excuse to step away and grab a bite a little bit later. But this is going fairly well. I'm happy with the way this has turned out. Speaking of things that I'm happy with how they turned out, we had a match of Locodome last night, which went the distance. Packaged with a cylinder, the candy were like mints but tastier. Like the mint Mentos? Interesting. As long as they weren't Necco wafers. Necco wafers are terrible. Oh, right. That reminds me of Smarties, which love Smarties. Haven't had those in forever. Haven't even thought about them, really. Are lollipops considered a candy? I mean, I get that they are candy, but if someone was like, you want some candy and gave me a lollipop, I would be a little bit confused. So what's the scoop with passenger trains? Oh god, okay, I've got to answer that question first as soon as we, lose. Ryan, you must know that, I have a ritual that I must complete. The ritual of torturing Tyler. Alright. This is, I feel like, I sense the beginning of the end. This is going poorly very fast. Uh-oh. Put this there. Put this here. Can I put this over? Nope, that didn't help. No! They're coming too fast. Oh, 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 I got a line. I got a line. Please cause like a cascade. Please. Please, I'm begging. Oh my god. We might have been saved at the last second by, clearly my good looks and quick thinking. What's the last train to... I can't see that last word. I'll have to look, but not right now. Tyler actively rooting for my demise. Oh no! Look at the way those are stacked up down there. They turned out... They looked very nice for a minute. We had constructed a whole building. It's so bouncy. The physics are so unhappy. Oh no. No! Oh, we get a line. We get a line. Okay, we got 2 more lines. We're gonna have a full cascade here, I feel like. All the little pieces are gonna come undone. Or come apart. That's wishful thinking, but I'm wishing. I'm wishing and I'm thinking. This isn't good, though. How about... No, no, no. Not like that. No, no, no. Oh! Oh! Oh my god. That's the equivalent of a Tetris. We have a new high score, that's for sure. This is still not great, because it just keeps giving us these. But... No, no, no. No, no. Oh, no. Oh, that's very bad. Over like that? No. If I ever played Trainz, what? I can't see the whole screen because of where the Trainz window is, and I'm gonna have to fix that because I'm missing important words from conversations. People are asking me things, and I can't read them. I need to get like a second screen just for the chat, which is something I know a lot of people do, but I have not. No, 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 please. No! Oh, we almost had another line we could have caused a serious something. Oh, wow, we didn't even beat our previous score. 06, 01, 23. Okay, we're done here. Gabe Johnson, we're done here. Have you ever played Trainz 2001? I didn't know there was a 2001. I thought the first one was 2004. Okay, I've played Microsoft Train Simulator. Does that count? Or was that like Trainz Classics? Okay, anyway. Last time we were here, we did this area, which I think turned out really nice. Tyler is cheering. Okay, so let's look at the the to-do list and also look at the what's the scoop with the passenger trains. So, is there anything I have to do for this? Mason Valley switching ops put together line head turn. Okay, the problem is we have that other train that just runs through the buffers. Rename ML trim, interlocking stuff, that's not going to happen. Whistle boards and crossing boards at Pan. Okay, let's go look at staging real quick so I can cover the shtick about the passenger trains right now. Yeah, it's the 50s, we have a lot of streamliner equipment. A lot of people that know about passenger trains are going to have a lot to say about what should be here and what shouldn't. I have these guys as heavyweights, which are, reasonably nice. I just don't have them on very many trains, or really any trains, because, again, the move to streamliner equipment, we're going to be using the heavyweights probably for the Zion and Skyline. And also here, which, notably some of this, like this is supposed to be a through sleeper to the Zion and Skyline, if I remember right, because this train goes through in the morning, and then this train also has a similar setup to this one. This one would probably be a little bit shorter, I think, because this is, let's look at this. Train 103, yeah. And the rest of these aren't numbered, but the track marks should be. North staging local 1. And if we look at our timetable here, this is the one that would have come through at 4:35, I think? Or no, sorry, this one would have been 4:35. Then this one would have been the local train that has the Skyline connection, and I think might have a through sleeper in the future, but I haven't gotten that far to set it up. I think this might be a through sleeper, or if we might add like one of these cars. That's the big issue. We just have not a ton of options, and also not a lot of information on how things are going to eventually look. I'm tempted to throw in one of these other Mikados instead of this one and just see how it turns out. I know this is like the older Ben Neal, or is this... No, these are the same, aren't they? Yeah, these are the same detail. This one just looks a little crunchier on purpose. Again, throwing in a different Mikado just to see how it works out, so that we can get a little bit farther. But yeah, I mean, let's knock off some things on the list. Number one is there's a grid line on the north side of the main line near Jasper Mills. I think I could make some heavyweights. I think you would have a fun time making Zion and Skyline heavyweights, because it's such a elegant name to put on the side of a thing. Their colors are, if I remember the logo right, it's a very black and red and gold. Not that those cars would necessarily be the wrong color, but the very typical gold lettering would be very pretty. It's not a USRA Light 282. 40 is based on an ATSF 282. In real life or the model? Where's this? Oh, right. I said there was a grid line on the north side of the tracks. Just need to find it. The model. Oh, okay. So hopefully they have a different engine spec. I could swap them out. The only reason I haven't is because the the Gilson Eastern doesn't run coal firing. There they are. Found them. How did the idea of Tolbrin come? So that's an interesting question, because I didn't have a lot of the details when I invented Tolbrin. I had the name, which of course I stole from Besiege. Great game, by the way. And there's more grid lines right there. And I had a very, very basic map. Hey, Mopac. The basic map was just 9 towns on a peninsula that I knew the center of it would be mountainous. And the reason I drew this out, I was in the middle of making the Iron Horseman route. The Iron Horseman route is, it's as much route as it is set, at least. Or at most, perhaps. And so the distances are short, the elevation, the gradient changes are steep. Things don't necessarily make sense. Nothing works. You know, nothing. None of the industries function for the most part, and they definitely aren't tied together with any sort of rules. There's no AI. There are virtually no track marks. Virtually no like named items. And I went, man. I saw that. I saw that. I thought, man, I don't know why, like, not, I don't know why I'm doing this, but, like, I recognize that I am missing out on the things that I enjoy most about trains, and also the things that I enjoy most about just running railroad, you know? It had the model railroad problem, where your towns, right? We need a crossbuck here, don't we? um, where your towns are barely over the horizon from one another, where you have a long train and it's sticking out of one yard and into the next. It's not quite that bad on the Iron Horseman route, but it's still relatively bad. I mean, there are, the distances between towns are nothing like this. You zoom out to here, you can see the whole route. It is big, but not because the distances are large, but just because there's a lot of different towns. Um, let's see. You know what? Actually, let's put these signs here. Because we can. And then one over here. Oh, whoops, wrong kind. Also, I saw a grid line. Yeah, right there. Very faint, but it's there. So I had extremely basic ideas of I want to go against everything the Iron Horseman is doing so far. I want my distances to be very far. I want the industry chain to be complete and active. And the thing that I've been missing out on, I want uh I want the AI to be able to run the place. Because we really didn't do much AI for the Iron Horseman Chronicles. I mean, who would have thunk, right? Occasionally, I set up some AI stuff to film certain scenes that were difficult otherwise. Um, Not always a guarantee, not something I always did, but something that I often considered when I was working my way through certain scenes. Let's see. I want to straighten this out. And I also want to fix whatever's going on here. Seems to be having like a Pan Am style problem. What happens if I delete this? And then straighten it again. That's better. It's less gradual than it used to be, but I have a plan for right here. Hang on. Where is the... Not that one. Not that one. Oh, wait. I have it. I have it somewhere. I have it right here. Duh. I was like, I know there's a track for this. But, yeah, I had very, very, very vague and basic ideas, and using those ideas, I drew a very basic map. 40 has a different engine spec. Thank you. I might try it with 40 until we get another one. I don't like to do that kind of substitution, but if we really start digging into the AI, well, we're never going to make it at this point. We're not going to make it to the end of the session where that happens. Yeah, the thing, it just needs a reskin. It needs to be redone. All right, let's grab railroad crossing things. And I could do this down here, but boy, that was more work than it needed to be. Also, both of these are much more curved. Let's do it. Why not? Here and here. Delete. Why didn't you delete? There we go. Straighten that out. It's a little bit of a broken back curve, but it'll be okay. The Great Tolbrin Kit Bash project. I mean, perhaps. I will never be afraid of someone making a kit bash. Well, unless it's Matt, but it's not because he's kit bashing, it's because he's Matt. But yeah. So, Tolbrin came about just based on those requirements. I wanted a route that was going to be big. I wanted a route that was going to have realistic and complete industry chain. And I wanted a route that was going to be, automatable. So I drew out, because I had been drawing, I've drawn a lot of Trainz maps. You know what? We'll just leave the jank in. I think it's endearing. The way these line up here. So anger fueled and still fuels me. No. There was nothing angry about it. It was just, we're gonna take that. We're gonna take these things that I want, and we're gonna turn them into a route. And I just drew out whatever shape came to mind. It was like, okay, it's gonna be peninsula. It's gonna have some trains that go around the outside, and it's gonna have some trains that go down the middle. Across the middle, and that. Are you doodling up the new Ben Neal US Ray lights? If so, I have the ARN plates for custom chaos. Talk to Matt, please. And if anyone wants to be the guy to reskin those Mikados to at least the Gilson Eastern. We've got 3 kinds of Mikado. So is this... Okay, this has a bell. But yeah. And then we got to this point, right? We got to this point, and I'm looking at... Or we got to... Let me go step by step. The next thing that happened was I sort of got tired of working the Iron Horseman route, and production on the series slowly ground to a halt. And I went, well, if there's any time that I'm going to move on to my next project, it's the present. So I started just doodling. Unlike, doodling in Trainz, effectively. I just grabbed a couple baseboards and I turned on the recording and I started making this. And unlike certain other projects, I didn't have the yards drawn up beforehand. I didn't have very much figured out. I just knew that there was going to be industries in vague locations. Alright, we need to do Mason Valley. What are we doing? I keep getting distracted with other locations. And it's really just evolved from there. It's evolved from a very simple concept to where we are now. I'm just going to put this here. Railroad crossing. Yeah, one thing leads to another, and then you have monkey bananas. Exactly. I don't think I'm gonna put stuff at all of these, but what is 4 tracks. Griswold. Are these all? These all look like ATLS, which I barely remember how to do, unfortunately. It's been a long while. I just need a better sign. I mean, I might just keep using the crossbuck. Let's see what we have for crossbucks. Oh, well, we put the giant one here. Whistle posts and crossing boards at Pan Am is what I wrote. But we do need whistle posts here. So, let's find a whistle post. Where's the PRR one? There it is. Otherwise known as the good one, right, Dean? Whistle post. And then I'll put another one before the bridge. And then this, I won't even bother because it's like you're in the yard limit. You need to be dinging the bell. So we got whistle posts. Let's go do this in Pan Am. I like how Pan Am looks from space a little bit. Whistle posts. How far back we're talking here? Woo, 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 woo. Okay, so this is fine. I'll put it here. That's a very scientific way to figure that out. And I'll put this one after the switch. There we go. I literally hate Trainz 2009 sounds that I just turn off my PC's volume. I don't usually play this with sound either. I kind of forget there is sound sometimes, but then again, it's mostly because I am doing Surveyor, you know. This is the vast, vast majority of my time spent in... Oh, where did those 4-track ones go? We need that. Oh, whoops, hold on. Xing. This is the vast, vast majority of my time in this game. So, hold on. B&M Highway sign 4-track. And you know what? I'll just put it on this side and not on the other side. Actually, maybe I'll put it here. Just right in the corner of this. And then I'll put it over here. And then let's also put it down here, even though it will be inaccurate, but it'll be 4 mainline tracks. So, put that guy there. And this thing doesn't have crossing boards, apparently. Don't need that. Is that a flag stop station? Probably. That's a steep transition. Yeah. I don't know what else we could do, really. This is just the end of road, the end of paved road. They didn't want to, you know, they didn't want to pay to extend the pavement across. Plus, you've got this. We'll just put the one without the thing. Alright, there we go. Anyway, so we have the things, we have crossing boards. Do we have crossing boards over here? We do. Whistle posts and crossing boards. I think what I meant was crossbucks, not crossing boards. You can make it sink into the ground. Which? Oh, this? Yeah, I suppose I could. I think they're... Are they attached? Let me see. No, they're not attached. Okay, let's put a second spline here. And then let's sink this end into the ground. And also, let's fill in this grid, because we missed a spot. So, yeah. Also, when we get towards the end of the stream, for whoever's still around, Ryan, if you're still around and you want more deets on passenger train ops, I can hop into the my whole documentation. Farms to Bellington, between Pan Am and Road River, Castle Farm area, VMR passenger staging, tram interlocking. I'm just not going to bother with that. Mason Valley, recalibrate turntable track marks. And I think everything else we have to do is AI work. So, Mason Valley, recalibrate turntable track marks. They still fit on the turn, like everything fit on the turntable. The issue was I want to add turntable track marks on the other side here, so that we can figure that out. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly where I need them. We probably should pay attention to the doodad. 1105 needs to set switches before entering interlocking. In fact, I think they all do. So if we assume, and this is a good assumption, I think, that the switches that if we assume that the switches that get set, that there's a thing here, right? Yeah. We assume that the way the switches are set is normal for just the arrangement of everything, which I'm pretty sure it is, according to the command, I should say. Then we should be able to assume that setting the things to not normal will be the way to go. So the thing is, this guy throws the interlocking here and goes to pull in, and then he gets hung up because the switches get thrown and then they get unthrown because it actually times out. Or this switch is thrown to a track with someone on it, which would be one of these. Although I think, did I put in a... No, I didn't put in a signal down here. So it's just thrown against the red. And what I need to do is I need to edit session, need to go to driver setup just as a test. Just as a test. Edit. Go find 1105 again. It's down here somewhere. Oh, it's up here somewhere. 1105. And I need to say that as you're pulling in, you need to set one junction. Look how full this list is. MLGE yard north. ML. Oh, it's ML-GE yard north. We want to set it to the right. And then pull up to the platform. And I think that should alleviate the problem. And if it does, then we'll keep that in the back of our mind for when the other ones have a problem. In fact, before I forget about it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the north side passenger. I'm going to go to the commuter all stops right here. And then after you... Oh. I already have that. I already thought of that. MLGE yard north 2, which I assume means to the right. If we check the other one, there it is. I don't know if that makes it better. I sure hope it does. We might even want to put in another track mark so that when it hits that one, then it throws the switch. That's an interesting conundrum. Okay. Well, I did that. That is really interesting. I did not know that that was the way I sorted out. Oh, you know what? Okay. So we need to also do a little bit of math, and I will share my screen for this. I apologize for the math. Not really, though. So, screen. Our current situation is we have some RDCs. You guys already know them, probably, if you've stuck around. It's this set of RDCs right here. We don't have a number for these trains yet. They run up to Upper Doe Cliff. They get there at 7:14. It takes them... I mean, how long is that? That is... And half an hour would be 7:05, so it's about 40 minutes to get up, and therefore should probably be about 40 minutes to get back. 7:14 to 8:20. Now, 40 minutes means you need to leave Upper Doe Cliff at 7:40. Also, it is 1 minute shy of that, but 40 minutes, conservative estimate. So we'll talk 7:40 a.m. And in order for that to happen, well, we just need to do the whole thing in reverse. Edit session. Whoa, why is that maximized? Didn't ask for that. Edit session, schedule library, VMR passenger service, and then the important question is, what does our... Okay, short round trip, it just goes to Olive and then goes home. Long round trip, it goes to Olive, goes to Adams, Lionhead flag stop platform 1. Yep. Goes to Upper Doe Cliff platform 1. Goes back to Adams. So it skips Lionhead on the way down. That's interesting. I don't remember why that is. It should not skip Lionhead. Probably I just forgot it. Goes here. Doe Cliff. Yeah, let's see. So, right before Bristol Curve, which would be Bristol Curve, we need to drive to Lionhead, flag stop, platform 1. Then we need to unload. Then we need to load. Then we need to, I think the procedure is to horns and then wait 5 seconds. VMR passenger ops. There aren't a lot of them, but they do exist. Horns. Then wait for 5 seconds. I love wait for 5 seconds is probably the command that I use most often by a very, very long shot. Then you drive to Adams. Then you drive to Olive track 1. And then you head into North Staging and into the portal because I don't have a place to put you anymore, or right now. Here's the deal. The thing with the commuter long round trip is... Oh, excuse me. The commuter long round trip... So I think this only happens once a day. Let me just double check. It happens twice a day. There's the other one. Although this is not a round trip, it terminates differently. So this is the only time it's going to happen. Full stop, it's the only time it's going to happen. In fact, I should probably make the end of this separate so that I can have the two variations where one goes up and then comes back, and then one goes up and comes back. But here's the thing. I'm going to need to make two variations anyway, so I might as well do it like this. When we get up to Doe Cliff, Upper Doe Cliff, we unload, and then what? Because I don't want to have people sitting on the train for 40 minutes. What I want to do is Perhaps have the train pull over here, and I'll make like a maintenance area. So let's just do some gravel over here, just to, you know, whatever. And I'll put like a little shed here or something. Let's see. Or a, not a shed, maybe a section house. Let's see. We have some RGS ones. And now I have intersections. Yeah, that's exactly what I want, surely. How about the Max section house from Uinta? The Uinta Railway. Yeah, okay. This is fine. Let me just make the, let me just fix the landscape. More sensitivity. It's not working. It is definitely not working in the way that I expected it to. Wait, is this not 5-meter grid? Hold up. How was that? That's better. Hold on, someone just knocked on my air conditioner. I don't know if that's Gloria. I'm gonna assume that that's Gloria. Because if not, I have no idea who's banging on my window. Alright. I think you use the track mark one. Yeah, the track mark one is a good point, but I was thinking like a specific track mark. Alright. No wonder why it wasn't working. Keep your rifle by your side. Yeah, no, I don't think I don't want to. Nah, I'll pass on being one of those crazies that like someone knocks on their door and they pull a gun on them. Ellis, why are so many people watching your VODs/streams? I don't think they are. Anyway. Okay, so here's what I want to do. Which is wildly flail at it with a fishing pole. Comically sized frying pan. That's what I need. I need a freaking, what are they called? Like a big cast iron frying pan just for this purpose. I use a frying pan for home defense as my Italian ancestors intended. Okay. What are we going to call this? This is a track mark. Track marks are railroad town location description number direction. So this is railroad would be, this is the VMR. So VM, right? This is the Volga Mountains Railroad. Town location, this is Upper Doe Cliff. Description, section house. And the reason is, I want these to pull out of the way in case I have to access this in the meantime. I really shouldn't. Like, there should be no way I have a train operating the freight house here at the same time. Which, I don't... The Lionhead turn would not serve this. So, yeah. Almost 200 people watched the 0406 one. 0406 one? Oh. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was heist-related shenanigans. My subscriber count always jumps when I do something with that, man. It's fantastic. I don't feel like redoing these junction levers yet, but we are going to have to redo them. So let me just write that down. Upper Doe Cliff junction levers. And here's what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do, I am curious about how terminate passenger train works. I wonder if anyone here has ever used that. I know I have when something's going off system for good, but it has a little description of its own. So let's see what it says. VMR passenger service. Commuter long round trip. If we go over to here, and now we make sure there are 2 of those in a row, it's saved. If we go over to here, you go to Upper Doe Cliff, you unload, and then you terminate passenger train. Oh, right, it doesn't say it here, it says it here. Terminate passenger train. All the passengers to disembark. You must issue a drive to command for a passenger station before using this command. Okay, so that's fine. What I will do then is driver command, not driver command, idiot. Schedule library, VMR passenger service, long round trip, as said, over here. And instead of an unload command, we will just do a terminate passenger train command. Then we will wait for 5 seconds. Then we will drive to track mark, because it is right effing here, VM Upper Doe Cliff section house. Okay? Then we will wait until 7:40 and 0 minutes. Last stream is 184 views. Cool. I thought you were asking how many people were tuning in, and I'm like, it's usually less than 10. Oh, I'm glad that people love me. I don't tend to go back and look at my view count, if I'm honest. It's few and far between that I go, all right, time to do, time to check a look at how my channel is doing, because I don't do this for, like, I do this for me, and I do it for you guys. I do it for whoever shows up, but I do it because I want to put a video out there, not because I'm trying to, hit a demographic or trying to, make money off of it, certainly. If you want to feed me money, buy trading cards. I got to work on the website again. I got to get it done before I go on vacation. That's my goal. I haven't touched it, but that's my goal. Anyway, wait 5 seconds. Then... oh, I need to have you go back to the station. I need to have you go back to the station. Okay, wait for 5 seconds. Drive to track... or drive to... right. Drive to... where are we? VMR... or sorry, VM... that's not how it's listed. Because this is an industry... how is this supposed to be listed? Industry track, station track, town, railroad name, track. Got it. So, town, drive to, Upper Doe Cliff, which is going to be, or is it just listed under Doe Cliff then? Ah, DCMV, Upper Doe Cliff. Northbound? Northbound. Oh, I could have just checked this one. VM Upper Doe Cliff Platform 1. Oh, crap. That is the wrong railroad. Boy, this is giving me trouble for no reason. VM Upper Doe Cliff 1. Platform 1. Platform 1. Perfect. So now it's going to go up here. It's going to wait until it's time to leave. And then it's going to leave. And hopefully it makes good time getting down, as same as it did getting up. And this is the last RDC run of the day, and it just runs off the map into the portal. So, we can mark that off the list. Where does training to go at end? What track? Then what? MLO1 and return train with MTs. Okay. Switching operation for Mason's Landing. GR Mainline Industries. So there's something I'm not sure if I put in already, and it is the second locomotive. The second Atlantic. There are very few. Yeah, okay, so there's this guy here, the Gilson Eastern lad. This guy does the heavy switching for this industrial park. Why do we have a 080 here? Because someone reskinned it, and I appreciate them. But no, we need to have 3 locomotives that run out of this location. Number 1 is this guy. This is a, this is a switcher. It does not leave Mason Valley. Number 2 is the Atlantic that runs the passenger train. Here it is in all its glory. Number 3 is the other Atlantic. Now, I don't think I should put this in the roundhouse now that I think about it. This Atlantic, at this time, is probably in Gilson City. Why do I say that? Because the way this would go, the milk train runs in the early AM or the middle of the night, depending on how you want to measure it. It's already in Gilson City. Or sorry, 5 o'clock, it is on its way to Gilson City. What time is milk delivered? What time is milk delivered? I'm getting Go Puff advertisement. Think about it. We can't all have milk delivered at 6 to 7 a.m. So, we'll say that if this is for the, what time are they milking the cows? Always had delivered at 3 a.m. Think about it. We can't all have milk delivered at 6 to 7. Small hours 2 to 3 a.m. Yeah, so what I'm thinking, Ellis, is that really a 242? No, it's a 442. It's an Atlantic. What I'm thinking is, let me hide this window. One Atlantic will run the passenger train all throughout the day. When the passenger train runs its last, that locomotive goes out, which wouldn't be very late. I can only imagine that the last passenger train is, maybe, maybe 11 o'clock, if that. The passenger train comes back to here, puts the coaches here, grabs empty milk cars out of here, and actually exchanges them. So empty milk cars get brought in. It comes out, picks up the empty milk cars. It goes out and runs this, and then takes those full cars to Gilson City. Actually, the reason why, because that would actually have to happen earlier. Point is, I want one doing the run to Gilson City and one doing the run back at like the same time, which means we'd need an extra set of cars in here, because with milk trains you want to be doing it car out, car in at the same time. So that's interesting. I think part of it is going to have to do with how long does it take to get from here to Gilson City. If at full tilt it takes, let's say an hour. If we're dropping off milk at 4 o'clock, it takes an hour to get there. So we got to leave here at 3. It takes an hour to do it, so we've got to start switching at 2. So the other train can come back at any time during the night. I mean, we don't want to run it when the main line's busy, so we'll run it at in the dark. That train's going to come back here. Locomotive comes off. Probably, maybe even goes into the shed here for a little bit of touching up. Train comes in. They make the handoff. And then this guy goes and runs the creamery stuff. And the reason for that is so that they can both get serviced at their home terminal, which is this one. Because the Atlantics don't get run in regular service anymore. So they have to swap off day to day so that they each get time in the roundhouse here. And that time is, well, it would be after whatchamacallit. It'd be after the exchange is made and the other locomotive either deadheads or runs a very late passenger train back into Mason Valley. But I would think probably deadheads. Because then you have the nice move of deadheading the locomotive down in the morning, which would be a nice, it would be an interesting session to run. Anyway, I know you guys can give your thoughts and opinions about that. But point is, there would not be another Atlantic in here right now. There would be later, but not right now. But we also have the rail bus. I don't really have a plan for what to do with this guy. Oh, the other thing is the passenger train, the full passenger train only runs during peak time, so that guy would run in the middle of the day. And also maybe a couple of times late at night. So that gives time for the locomotives to do what they need to do, and this one to get out and go pick up the cars before it gets too late. So, anyway. Yeah, because here there's not... They just have this diesel shop which just handles the... we have this guy here, and we have... Hey, Shoreline. And we have this guy here who's going to be doing the switching in town. And that's about it. That's all that lives in this engine house. So we have a lot to do with regard to... with this. GR mainline industries, including creameries. Creameries go on their own. Atlantic Loco Exchange. Hopefully I remember what that means. So, yeah. I'm afraid to touch the stuff in Vut. But here's the deal. Here's the thing, and I want to check this while we're here. This guy, right? This is Thomas. He seeks the Magic Railroad. This is GER 658. Now, if I look at our assets and timetables, and I look at our locomotives and cars, we can see that the Gilson Eastern has 3 different classes of Mikado. 2 of which would exist on this end of the system, and 1 of which would exist on the other end of the system. This is one of the 2 that exists on this end of the system. The other 2 are... Oh, sorry, these are both oil-fired. So, my bad. These 2 go on the other end of the system. And this one exists on its own up here, because we don't have another Mikado. So, yeah. I would have to swap this out with one of these guys, which don't belong here. Or I would have to swap it out with something else. That's sort of my issue. That's why I want this guy reskinned. Because I don't have another locomotive that fits the bill. I don't have another locomotive that makes sense to go here. But if we want, for the time being, to figure this out, the thing I need to know is, this is 685. And if I go into Edit Session, we can check the driver setup and check 685. Now, if I want to hazard a guess, 685 has no commands at all. can't search it. No. 685 with Lindsay, no commands at all. Why? Because the commands are provided by this. Notably, Butler Yard Roundhouse Track 3, and then OLMV-1. That's this. So I could swap 685 out with any other locomotive, and we wouldn't have a problem. It would just work. The only reason I haven't done that, or, sorry, the only thing is we can't put it on any other track. Excuse me. We can't put it on any other track. Part of me wants to put this guy outside, because he's a diseasel. Coughs and sneezels spread, God, diseasels. It can live over here. So we can just pull onto the turntable that way. And if we need more engines in here, we can have more engines in here. The issue is, of course, that we have another roundhouse up here for the competing railroad that has more locals out of here than, you know, more locals out of here than this does. And really, more mainline trains out of here because we can only store one large engine in the engine house. We can't turn anything larger than a consolidation. And even then, that's kind of pushing it. So, yeah. We basically can only have one medium-sized engine in this engine house at a time. This roundhouse, in the past, probably would have been full of engines to run the olive branch and the yard. So, yeah. Excuse me. So we can keep the diesel inside because we don't need the other ones. Or we don't need to use these other spaces for anything. The issue is the trains, the locomotives, they just won't pull up to the end of the turntable. They won't. They won't do it. And how many classes of consolidation does the Gilson Eastern have? It is, let's see, 280, 2 classes of consolidation. And you can see 1 right here and 2 right here. You can see their general consolidation philosophy. They're big and chunky. They don't have small ones like this. This one belongs to the VMR, which also has 2 classes of consolidations. That would be these 2, more than likely. So, we could squeeze in. I just want to put these next to one another and see how it looks. Remove the switches from the abandoned small gauge and olive to make it look better. Like the switch stands? Does it not? Did I leave the switch stands? Oh, I did. Well, I have things, but yeah, you're right. Let me toss them. Why not? There we go. Yeah, heavy connies. I mean, they don't have use for anything else. They don't have use for very much lighter because they're just all mainline. They don't have a lot of branch. We will get to them having branches, or a pretty substantial branch or 2, when we get to Bellington. But that's something to figure out later. Mopac used them for fast freight and gave them aux tenders. That's a yikes. I don't want to be going fast behind a consolidation, I'm going to be honest. I think it'd be jumping up and down like a jumping bean. Let me just move this to here. Okay, yeah. So, these are a hair shorter than the Pensy ones. Just a hair. And I'd sort of like to compare the Harriman ones as well. So let's put those alongside also. Yeah, these are longer because they've got such a long tender. So, yeah, we've got the big ones, we've got the chunk ones, and we've got the long ones. I don't think dropping one of these in the roundhouse is going to be particularly helpful, but you know what, I'll do it anyway. I'll do it anyway, I'll just throw them in here. and we can fill in the rest of these spots. I mean, we could if we wanted to. Throw in a Mikado. Yep. Oh, whoops, that one, that they were green. These all have the it's all of the doghouse. I kind of wanted to get rid of the doghouse, but here we are. Put one in streaming recording. Hold on, let me look. Did you? Maybe my Discord's cocking up. That's always a possibility. Oh, I should compare this to the length of the... Okay, it is substantially shorter than the Mikado. The issue is... Okay, let's drag these onto the turntable. That is as far onto the turntable as it's going to get. Just about. We know that the Mogul... Give me the Mogul. Just barely fits. So it gets to about there. And that's as far as we can make it go. This, on the other hand, if it gets to about there, might be overhanging enough to derail, and I obviously don't want that. So that's why we can't put these guys in the roundhouse. And I don't want to put this on another track. This is I'm just being picky is the issue. I'm really just being picky about what I want so that I don't have to change things twice. Here's the other thing. There's these other industries here, which totally should not be run with the creamery train, but I don't know why you would have another local come out here and do this. And also, just notably, you can only get to these from the wrong side, so you're only going to be servicing them in the middle of the night. The idea is you run down here, right? Reason why the track mark can't be moved. If it gets any closer to the end of track, the train will just give up and not try to get to it. When the turntable is rotated, the end of track is too close. Now, the fact of the matter is we have stuff on both sides of the main line here, and there are no crossovers between here and... what do you say? Oh, Zubikani is there now. Oh, that's not an ox tender, that's a tank car. That is a tank car. So, it's got to come all the way down, come into Olive, turn the train around, and then head back out, and then do this stuff. So that means these cars... What do they hold? They hold limestone aggregate. Oh, that's extremely annoying. So, something I'm realizing about these cars. These cars are going to get moved in the early morning. They need to go... Hello, comrade. They need to go to... they're limestone aggregate, so they need to go to the steel mill. The steel mill is in Zion, which is on the New Shoreham Tramway. Let's just pull up the map to take a look at it. Maps. Tolbrent. Let's open it in paint.net so we can make some doodles if we need to. This is the equivalent of an AI episode when I start late. I don't actually do AI, I just do a lot of brainstorming. You guys are free to ask questions and think. Anyway. Oh, let me just really quick share. This is what the original Tolbrent map looked like. Oh, and you know what? I can just show it like this. This is the original Tolbrent map. Very simple, right? I knew there was going to be a peninsula. I knew there was going to be some stuff. I knew there was going to be very basic stuff. So we're talking logs to here to make lumber. And then, yeah, I mean, quartz sand from the summit because I've always been obsessed with that. A refinery in Zion was my original idea. And then I moved that to this. I changed that to be a steel mill and I moved the refinery off map. And then I moved it back to over here. and then coal from Skyline, New Shoreham Seaport. Yeah, I mean, very, very basic. I just knew I wanted it to be big. But let's turn off the ghost of the old Volga Mountains there, and let's look at this. What makes the most sense for us? Because Zion is on both the Gilson Eastern and the VMR. Now, if I were to go the shorter route, which is, through the mountains, not around them, what would happen is those cars would come out of the quarry here. They'd go to here. They'd get dropped off by the creamery train. Then they would go back to here. Then they would get put on a freight that went over the mountains to Uniontown. And then they would get traded off the train in Uniontown and brought down to Zion. That's not the way things are going to happen. What's going to happen is we're going to have to get them to here and then get them on an eastbound train or railroad south to Zion. When are we going to have an eastbound train come through? That's a good question. I don't know yet. What I do know is these cars are going to have to be here, but by 5 a.m., they're going to have to be present here also, because there's no way that I'm going to have the creamery train also take the aggregate. Because the creamery train is going to a very specific place. It's probably going to a milk distributor, and it's going straight there, as opposed to going into a classification yard and then getting those cars sorted off and then whatever. So dropping them here versus dropping them there, I could see the argument for either, but in this case, I think that dropping them here makes slightly more sense, especially if we have this creamery switched out last. So you pull back into here, you pull into the yard, you drop those cars off, you back up, you grab that car, you switch that car, get it back on your train, and then take the hell off. The question is, right, I wish I could make notes. I wish I could make notes to myself. Just like some sort of marker or object that I can write on what's for what. I mean, these cars are going to Olive. These cars are going to Mason Valley. These cars, I don't know where they're going. I don't know if anyone comes and picks them up. In fact, I don't have a track mark on this track, so nobody picks them up, that's for sure. Where could these cars have come from? Well, they're 3 hoppers. I don't know what hoppers... Okay, so we've got 2 from here and 1 from here. So these are all coming from here. This one is like glass, or sorry, this one's quartz sand. I have an obsession. It's a problem. This one's quartz sand. And these 2 are, I think, barley and hops. Yeah, barley and hops. So these 2 need to go down the line to the next stop. This one actually needs to go... Well, let's see. Quartz sand is going to come from the summit area. So that's actually got to come down from here. It's got to go the other way. But a lot of the fields, like the breadbasket is here. So the Mansfield Branch Railroad is the breadbasket of the Tolbern Peninsula. So let's look at this. We've got to we've got 1, 2, 3 cars from here that have got to go out. One of them has to go one way, one of them has to go the other. So if we uncouple, I don't know why I thought that was the uncouple button, uncouple one of these cars and put it over here, we can say that this is to Olive, because that's in a word that is inside of this yard or subdivision, really, for the sake of figuring out where, what's going where. I've divided the map up basically based on the original Tollbrint locations. Um, and we have these two that are empty and that are going to go to the next stop down, right? And we should also have, just grab this, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these that are not empty, but in fact are filled with limestone aggregate. So let's fill these up. Let's find the limestone aggregate. I think it's right there. Yeah, it is. Here. Limestone aggregate there. Attached to similar vehicles. There we go. So we have 6 cars of limestone aggregate. The other thing we need, because we have neglected them for this long, is this guy. The standard oil tanker, which is going to be empty, because it will have just been emptied for that. This because of the way that these things work, this does not need to go to thing. This can actually go over the top. Because originally I was going to have all the oil refining be on the north side of the map, like off map, because I didn't want to build an oil refinery. Then I thought about that a lot and thought, man, that would be really, really cool to have, though. So I moved the oil refining to Wombeck. You may notice the little green line goes to Wombeck. So does the blue one. So it makes sense to go around the long way. But it also might make sense if all of the oil for this vicinity comes over the top on the VMR. Perhaps they have a better deal. They also would probably be taking oil trains or, oil products out of Wombeck and then bringing them to Uniontown and swapping them off there. Or maybe you would see run-through trains to here. Now, they could go down and around, but they probably would just go straight over the little red line here. So, I think having the stuff go via Olive is a more fun idea. And since these guys are going to be switched out at night, like, starting at 7 in the evening is when the shunter will start up and start switching things around. Since these things are going at night, and then these things are going in the wee hours of the morning, then it makes sense that they would be arranged like this. Here's the other issue that had not occurred to me until just now. These two should be on this train. Both of them should be on this train. And that throws a huge wrench in everything. It throws a humongous wrench in everything. Because of course it does. Okay, so nothing gets out of here without going through Olive unless it's going to Bellington. And then further that way. If it's going that way, it goes through Olive. We can move this over to here. And I can move this into here. Now here's the thing. We can arrange this. Currently, the way we have this arranged... Oh, is this the quartz sand hopper? Then wait, what were those 3 hoppers supposed to be? Now I'm mightily confused. Because we don't have another one. Oh, you know what? I probably put in the quartz sand hopper because... Oh, I know what I was doing. This is the 3rd hopper. And then this is the 4th one. And then But the only thing we're missing here, aside from another hopper on this consist, the only thing we're missing here is this tank car. And if this tank car is going over the top, then it should be paired with this car. These two are going to Gilson City. This one's going over the top. This one's going to Jefferson. Right? No. Hang on. Runs around the train. I should have taken a screenshot of this or something. Runs around the train. Schedule library. Olive freight trains. OB1 Linehead Tornado Order Switcher. MLL1. That's what this is. Mesa's Landing to Olive. Goes. Drives to here. Waits. Runs around the train. Drops off from Vehicle 8. So, engine tender, caboose. That's... Behind the engine is 0. Front of the engine is 1. Front of the caboose is 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, drops these two separately. Oh, whoops. Drops these two separately. Then drops these two, which is interesting. I don't know where I thought this one was going or where I thought this one was going. Oh, this one must be... That's interesting. Drops... Wrong one again. Drops those two. Drops these two, which are local. And then drops 1. So 8, which is these guys, right? 5, or sorry, 8, 6, 3. So 8, 6, 3, 1. Yeah, this is the one on its own. So these three are staying local in Olive. This one is... these two are going in towards Gilson City, I guess. And then these two are... No, these two are going towards Gilson City. These two are going over the top. I don't know where I'm sending the beer. I really don't. So, what I'll do then is... I'll just have the beer go to Gilson City. And it should still work if I do it like this. Watch the master at work. Once I find the master. Put this at the back end of that consist. Actually, I'll put these guys in the back still. That. And then this one's going on the top, as well as you. So 8, these 2, these 3, 1. Perfect. That should still work. Yeah. It just needs to be... The arrangement is the difficult part, and I may end up having to rearrange it later, or I may just have a shunter do some busy work to get it in this perfect order. Oh, excuse me. We will have to see. So, yeah, that got switched out. I think all the rest of this is just everything else from here. We have our... I don't know why they aren't here also, but... Yeah. It's a lot of spline points. Might hurt my eyes a little bit, but I wouldn't ever admit it. So... Yeah, the deal is, we've got to have a train that comes through and picks up these cars. I don't want them going back and then going forward. Which would imply that these cars should go at the same time with these guys. But, shoot, that's more train than I expected. I mean, I could still do it. I could put all 6 of these cars with this. That'd be a lot more train for the little consolidation. It might look cooler, though. I could still do it. The thing is, everything else is going back towards Olive first. And I don't know whether I want everything to go through Olive first, or I want everything to... You know, I want a freight train to pull in here, like a mainline manifest to pull in here and then go out that way. These guys are going all the way through, but these guys are just going to Bellington. It's a tough call for me. The thing is, Olive isn't much of a classification yard either. I mean, Olive is kind of crap for what it is. The tracks are spaced very far apart. There aren't many of them. It's not a great yard. I didn't think about it a lot when I built it. That's sort of the problem. If I could go back and redo Olive, I probably would. I like this yard a lot better than I like Olive's. Yeah. Anyway. Let's look at this. Let's look at this and think. What do we really want out of this? Where do we want the trains to go? I don't want a big manifest pulling into here, because there just isn't the room. But there really isn't that much room in Olive either. It's just sort of the way that place is set up. You can't get into the main yard from the northbound, or sorry, from the southbound tracks here. You can only get out. You can pull into one of the tracks where you can then pick stuff up from, but that's not very helpful. Olive is poorly designed, and it's going to give us trouble for the rest of our natural lives. That's just the way it is. These guys need to go all the way around. These guys need to go to Gilson City. These guys need to go to Bellington. And there just isn't a classification yard available. Maybe I can make a bigger one in Bellington. I think running the consolidation between here and there is okay. Running the consolidation between here and Bellington seems insane. To me, anyway. Something I might do is grab a like a Jeep or something and stick it in the yard, or in the roundhouse in Olive, and then maybe have it do this, because if I have the Mikado, gears are turning. In the morning, the consolidation takes the empties and these 3 cars. Takes these cars that have been used here, takes them back to Olive. At the same time, or shortly thereafter, the Mikado comes out. It takes all of the full cars, and it brings them through here. It picks up these 3 cars, right? Picks up these 3 cars, and it takes them in. When it gets there, it will not be the thing doing the switching. The 080 will be the thing doing the switching. So where does it go? It comes back here, tucks into the engine house, and waits. The consolidation, which has pulled into the roundhouse down in Olive, probably stays there for a little while. Instead, we get a GP out. We get that GP to grab the empties from Olive, bring them here, the empties that are bound for Mason Valley, bring them here, drop them off, and pick up stuff that is bound as through cargo. Maybe this will be after the line had turned. Pick up the stuff that is bound as through cargo. That then comes through here, drops off the empties. Yeah, the Jeep comes through here, drops off the empties. It picks up this stuff that's going that way. And then just brings it as far as Bellington. And then it gets onto a different manifest later. So let me write all this down in the ideas doc. Let me just put it down here. Or can I put down milk trains / all run overnight from the creameries to Gilson City. All shift 5. Milk trains run overnight for the creameries to Gilson City. 2 Atlantics live in Mason Valley. 2 Atlantics live in Mason Valley. They alternate duties. One does the commuter trains in the AM/PM. Rail bus substitutes. One does the commuter trains in the AM/PM. The other is in Gilson City during the day and returns at night with empties. Empties get put in yard, then First Atlantic gets off. My phone is on my friggin' desk. It's screwing me up. Gets off passenger duty and switches mainline industries. Okay. Then leaves for Gilson City with only full milk cars. Other industry cars get left in ML. Okay, so still good as your auto parts plant. Yeah. Womback. Let's see, is there anything I can write here about the arrangement? Just go to Jefferson and Gilson City. GR mainline Olive to Bellington. Okay. Also, what was this Jasper Mills that I marked down? Oh, interesting. It was an actual place. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Because we already made those. We know. 2-hour trip. Okay. And takes cars from ML to OL in AM. Mikado takes fulls from OL to MV via ML with pickups in AM after above. Mikado hands off train to switcher 080. Deadhead to OL. Or sorry, deadhead to ML. Jeep takes empties from OL to ML. Drops off for Mikado. Picks up cars for Bellington / points south. Picks up cars for Bellington and south. Jeep heads to Bellington. Um, Mikado takes empties to MV, picks up train for OL. I think that's going to be the general idea of how this dance runs. I am not I'm not going to run a rail bus for 800 miles, but that would be very funny. Um, but I think that's how the dance is going to work. Now we just need to program it. So let's go grab a Jeep. The one that I was using for, because we don't have any Jeeps in Gilson Eastern yet. Gilson Eastern yet. I was using this one, a GP9. Now, I don't know if that's appropriate, so let me check. The Gilson Eastern likes weird diesels, but they did have a handful of GP9s. So we'll go and put this guy down in the roundhouse here, because we're going to need to use him now. I'll put him here. He'll be on the diesel side. Now, I need to give him a number, which will be... Oh, also he needs to be on the seed layer. I'll give a number which needs to be between 2010 and 2019. So, random number generator. 10 to 19. 2015. GE 2015. Oh, GERR. GERR 2015. Now, the other thing we need to do now is go into here. Go into locomotive roster. Scroll way, way down. Hold on, this is going to take a while. Oh, and I didn't even go down to... Oh, wait, 2015. Nope. (2010 to 2019). Yeah, so I should have marked all these as 2000 or 2009, 2010 or 2013. Alright, so all these. All these are just going to be yellow. And we are going to say that 2015 is in olive. Because that's where it starts. Oh, and also I should probably write down what it is. GP9. GP9 in olive. Give me this. Move this back. Don't worry about it. Welcome back, Bryson. Okay, so obviously not gonna work out like that. Secondary passenger service with doodlebugs. I would love to do that, and I bet the VMR does. So let me write that down. I have definitely VMR passenger service. Most services originate in Jefferson. Blah blah blah. Consider doodlebugs for branch line service. Doodlebug or equivalent. I hit Control S just automatically. Yay, Trainz Plus today. Congratulations. Okay, so we need a couple of things for this. We need some track marks, because we need to be able to tell these guys what to do. So let's throw down a couple track marks. Let me grab the size of the radius. There we go. And we'll figure that out later. So, get trigger radius. Oh, all right. It doesn't stick. Apply. Let's just make sure these stick through the wall enough. I mean, we've got the diesels in here, so they have plenty of room. I wish I could just see through the ground. Goodness gracious. And I'll pull these guys right up to them. Right up to the wall. The reason for that is so that I make sure the trains pull all the way in when I need them to. I know it doesn't matter because these guys are, you know, I'm never going to be able to fit anything long in these stalls, but it matters. I'm actually going to slide them way back though, because despite, I will not be able to fit anything long in these stalls, so I can afford to have them stop a little bit further from the wall, so that if they come in at full tilt for some ungodly reason, they'll stop before the wall. Because nothing like that would ever happen to us. But what does the traffic on the Mansfield branch look like? It's a Granger branch. My inspiration for it was, if you look at I believe it was the Mansfield branch in Washington. Yes, the GNR's Mansfield branch. Notably, went to Douglas. Um, this would have been, in the Iron Horseman universe, this would have been uh, the Great Northern Line that connected to the Iron Horseman. This is what went to Douglas IRL. So, um, pretty. It would have been busier than this, um, or it would have been busier than this, but it still would have been, you know, eh. It was it was a piece of rail that was sort of let go of by the Gilson Eastern and spun off into its own company because they didn't feel like dealing with it. If you look on the map here, you'll notice that there's this connection around Ravenbridge. I'm still on the fence as to whether this will be in place and abandoned or totally torn up. But originally, the original Jefferson and Gilson Railroad peeled away from the coast here and went around this long way through Douglas, Mansfield, and Randall, uh, down the river gorge here, crossed the river at Ravenbridge, and then continued uh, towards Gilson City. Then they made the Ravenbridge Tunnel, and of course this just closed down. This is the only part of the main line of the Gilson Eastern that is not 4 tracks. It is 2. Anyway, but yeah, it looks like a northwestern branch line, a northwestern Granger branch line. It's a little bit hillier than the area that we're in now, but just a hair. Like I said, it is the breadbasket of the peninsula. So most everything that you can grow is going to come from the Mansfield branch. Okay, we've got maybe an hour left in the stream, but we have to figure our stuff out. And this is going to be a lot of forethought. So, if we can get that guy to come out, he comes out, he picks up this train, right? Yeah, Granger branches are based, I agree. Picks up this train, or, grabs a caboose, puts it on this 2,000-ton train, runs this train out to here, pulls in, picks up these cars, or picks up, sorry, these cars left on this track here, then leaves, then 2 different guys pull up in a similar car, drives to here. He doesn't even take the full train into the yard. It gets disassembled over here in between passenger train runs. Great, right? Edit session. I didn't get to do the AI. I'm going to have to do a bathroom break in a second. I didn't turn on the AI. In fact, I will do it right now. Hold this thought, because I'm going to burst. back. Hopefully nobody left. Maybe everybody left. Nope, people are still here. Thank you guys for sticking around. Awesome. Appreciate that. I should have put on Not Tetris while I was gone. I'm sure everyone would have loved that. But in truth, I haven't wanted to turn on the AI because I know that Thomas will go find... Well, he'll go make violent love to a caboose or find the magic buffers. One of the two. You've all seen the clip. This next thing we need to do presents a bit of a wrinkle that I wasn't really thinking about. Now, this is OLMV 1. It puts the train together, it drives all the way over here, and then it drives into here. It pulls into Mason's Landing Yard South 6, picks up the stuff, then it drives to here. It drives to North Runaround South 2, which is this right here. That one, pretty sure. And then I need to have it uncouple and put itself away. Now, we have 3 ways into the roundhouse. There's only... Actually, correction. And I know I looked at this before. Does this even fit on the turntable? Oh, just barely, I bet. It overhangs, but it fits. Now, let's try it with the other turntable, really quick, while we're here. Looks a little bigger, doesn't it? So there's the kicker. There's the kicker. Now, I might even want to swap these two out, but the issue is, I don't know how a single GP9 is going to deal with 2,000 tons of train. The people that know more about the capabilities of GP9s can sound off in the comments or in the chat right now and tell me if that's something it can do. If it is, then I was worried for nothing. But if it isn't, which I kind of assume, getting a 2,000 ton train up to track speed with a GP9 sounds like a tall order. I think that's not going to happen. So I would rather use the Mikado for this. And maybe the GP9 historically had problems with this, and that's why the Mikado sticks around and does this. Now, there is no reverse loop here. There's no other way to turn a train around except by this turntable, which is why the small engines live here. The Atlantics and that. So it would make sense if you had the Mikado pull himself off the train, run to the back, grab the caboose, or don't, but probably grab the caboose just for simplicity's sake, and run back down to Mason's Landing. I don't know if there's anything it could take with it. Maybe that's something we'll include in the future when we get some of the narrow gauge stuff in. But that's what we need for it to do now. And we need it to come back down here. We need it to pull in, probably stick the caboose somewhere, and then spin around on the turntable, grab the caboose, and tuck in. I might even start having them keep the caboose over here, which would be an interesting one because we've already got this arrangement. And we don't have a caboose track, so having them keep the caboose here instead of like this guy who's got the caboose just attached to the front of him in the morning. No, because this does make sense. I mean, it makes sense from the point of view of why would we put them outside when we have all this space in the engine house, right? Okay, so let's just, yeah, never mind. Let's not mess with what works, right? This guy's going to pull out of here in the early morning. And you know what? I can just have the guy tuck in with the caboose. Just pull right on in. And leave it for now. because we'll have him turn around later. Unless it would be easier for track marks to have him not. I mean, have him pull in, have him put the caboose here, maybe say navigate to thing, but I think just having him pull in and then... I guess what I would really love to do is actually have him shove the caboose across to the other side, but we don't have enough lead here, and I don't want to add more just for the sake of that. Let's work within the constraints that we've given ourselves. So let's just have him pull in and deal with the rest of it later. The thing we need to have him pull in is another track mark. So let's grab track mark. And I didn't ever name the other ones. I'm just realizing. We shall go grab the name of this one. This will be Engine House South. Engine House South 2. Engine House South 2. Okay. On the route layer, as it should be. And let's see. Oh, shoot. What do I want this to be? 5? What is this one? Is this 5? That's definitely 5. It's sure as hell not 10. Back up to here. The horseman van being towed after dying. Oh, no. What is his envoy? It's a sad sight. My wagon has been towed more times than I will recount. So we're gonna pull you in here. We're gonna cut you off. We're gonna run you around the train, which I will just say go couple at this location. This is long enough, right? Hold on. Hold on. Have I really screwed something up? Did I make my train too long? I might have to split half of the train off. This might be even more work. Grab this. OLML1. It's a nice consist anyway. Let's find out. I can place it... Oh, wait, because it hangs off the end. Come here, you. Okay. Thank the Lord Jesus. It fits. It fits. I was really concerned there that it was not going to fit. So let's add those commands to this. Driver setup. Nope, not driver setup. Schedule library. All of freight trains. OLMV. This used to be the stuff that I would do off camera. I don't have time to do stuff off camera anymore. We'll say drive to GEMV North Runaround South. Drive to track mark. GEMV North Runaround South to Shelby! Hi, Shelby. I unfortunately have no chaos for you here, but man, you should meet Thomas. We have a locomotive that just has no brakes, just runs into stuff, runs through the end of track, falls off the track. I'm sure you two would get along great. Alright. So, I'm going to have you wait for 5 seconds here. Wait for 5 seconds. And then uncouples from behind the tender, which should be 1. And then, you know what? Let's just say couple at track mark. Let's just see. Let's just say couple at track mark. GE. Where am I looking? MV North Runaround 2. Can we just say that? Probably not. In fact, I should probably give it another track mark. We'll say navigate via track mark. Or sorry, drive via track mark. Don't let it try to figure something out. North Runaround 1. Couple at track mark. Wait for 5 seconds. Wait for 5 seconds for everything to calm down. And then uncouples from 0 is the tender, 1's the engine, 2 is the caboose. And now we need to run the railroad in reverse. So Valley Line 2, which I can't remember if that is the main line or the siding. That is the siding, which I don't even know why I would have it run via the siding. Just maybe I was worried about the mainline train sort of getting in the way there. No, Valley Line 2 is the main line. Why do I do this? Why do I do this to myself? Schedule library edit. Real OGs remember when Shelby's Discord name was also Suzu Smiley. I remember when Shelby's Skype name was something that I will not repeat on stream. OLMV, that's this guy. All the way to the end. A couple from Vehicle 2. Drive via track mark, GEDC Valley Line 1. GE. Please no. DC Valley Line 1. Yep. And then what do I need to tell it to do? I probably need to tell it to do the thing. Valley Line. How is this arranged? It is ML limit of shunt, and then the thing, and then the platform. So, yeah. OLMV. Valley Line 1. Drive via track mark. ML limit of shunt. Oh, shoot. Was it 1 or 2? It was 1. Of course it was. Limit of shunt 1. And then IT set path, Mason's Landing interlocking. ML tram. Northbound to southbound. Road northbound to Jelly Road southbound. And then I need to tell it to go somewhere. So, actually, let's just tell it to go straight into the engine house. Navigate to track mark. Engine house. South 2? That's what it was? Yeah, south 2. Let's just double check that there's not another... Oh, great. We've got to fly at ground level. This is going to be fun. Try to follow the track. Because I can't scroll out. Wish you could just minimize them and have them open and then pull them open again instead of searching through menus. I feel like that is an unspoken just frustration with Trainz, is having to do it like this. Do I have a track mark over here I can tell him to pull to and then pull back? No. The answer is no. I feel like I should, but oh well. Maybe I'll need one in the future. Alright, that gets that out of the way. So we've got the Mikado to come back to here. That's an important step. I hope it doesn't interfere with the other train too much, but whatever. Once that's done, yeah, what I'm kind of afraid of is Trainz trying to pull out of here and ends up like they just meet each other here and they're just facing each other like friggin' locomotion. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. And we'll just have to schedule that. We'll have to figure that one out. So we've got that done. Now we have another extremely important thing to figure out. Extremely important thing to figure out. Which is the empties. Now, I mentioned that the second train, the train pulled by the Jeep, is going to be lighter because it's going to be all empties. What do we need for empties? We're sending in all the fulls first, because the fulls, I mean, for a multitude of reasons, but number one is, I want the fulls to get there so that they can produce, they bring the stuff to produce the stuff that gets produced by the producer industries, and so we're making sure there's stuff there in order to produce the stuff. So we figured out all the consumer industries. Now we need to figure out the producer industries. So what do we need? Well, Olive, Mason Valley, these guys, plus I think one other thing. No, these guys are producer industries, but they're not. Yeah, these both go onto the narrow gauge, so this doesn't count. Um, we have nothing coming off the coal transfer. Okay, 0 carloads from the coal transfer. 8 general goods in a box, or 8 carloads of general goods. Now we are sending in 1, 2, 3, 4 cars of general goods, or 4, 4 cars. Oh, I'll have to figure it out. Define not working.
The box.
What's not working about it?
It's not working.
What do you mean it's not working?
It's on the right channel. It's not, like, the light's not turning on.
Like the remote's not doing anything to it? It's not turning on?
Like, when I turn the TV on,
The cable box doesn't do anything.
yeah.
Hold tight, guys. Have you tried turning the box on with plug? I don't know why it's not doing it. HDMI for the Xbox. Love you. Simple case of user error. Figured that out. So, anyway, you guys ready to do some extremely basic counting? Legit playing Train Masters, finding out the waybills as he goes. Yeah, finding out the waybills as I go. Now, we need 8 cars. We need 8 cars. Oh, there's one other thing that has to get shipped later in the day, and I was just staring at it. The sheeps have to get shipped later in the day. So these are the first things that we need to put together for this. And I think I'll just start assembling this in staging out of the way. So, because then we can just pick it up and drag it over instead of needing to. I'll just put it in the Baltimore station, I guess. No, I won't. There's too much structure. We'll just pick it up and drag it over instead of needing to remake the consist with the quantities and everything. But also, it's going to be assembled, so either way, we have 2 carloads of sheep. Some kind of sheep. I think just sheep. If I remember right, it is just the sheep with the little sheepy sheep face. They are going to get shorn, but technically they will just be consumed. The game will consider that they have been they no longer exist. The sheep have been consumed fully. Yes, so the sheep with the sheepy sheep face. 50 sheep go onto this train. Prambulate sheep. What else do we need? We need 8 cars, 8 40-foot boxcars in total, right? But we are already bringing 4, so we can bring just 4 empty ones. We're bringing 4 full ones, right? Because if we look at Mason Valley here and the consumer industries, these are all the consumer industries. If we look at general goods, we've got 160, that's 4 cars. Those are going into Sanchez. Otherwise, yeah. We could also grab one from here. Harborside Team Track, general goods in crate. Oh, I think that's what that box car was. If we look at this, right? If we look at the cars that we have to pick up here, there's one. This one I think is one. We should also probably be picking up this one. Oh wait, no, this one is an outbound load. This one's empty. So there's one. This one's two. This one would be three, but it's full. This place is just producing goods. So I will add a second car to this and say that at some point this gets just switched over to here. So we have two cars of general goods from here. One, two, right? Or two empty cars that were full of general goods, I should say. I should clarify. And then two more that are coming from... that are coming along. So, those two. And you know what? I will make an identical track next to it for what the train looks like after it goes through Mason Valley. Or Mason's Landing, sorry. So let's double this up. 2 carloads of sheeps. Is that actually the kind of sheep that they are? Is that what you said that? Sheep are consumed must be a Greek restaurant next door. Can Shelby identify a sheep from this incredibly low-res picture of a sheep? I bet she can. So yeah, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are, of course, now facing the wrong way, but whatever. So you pick up these two. No, these are there when you get there, actually. Where's the lamb sauce? These are there when you get there, so we'll just show this. These are there when you get there. That's what that'll be. Back to industries. Back to the task at hand, Mason Valley. So we are not picking up any goods from Sanchez Goods, at least not right now. We might do it later. We are going to pick up 2 carloads of scrap, which I think, let's see, scrap. I think we might already have that there. Scrap. DPR 50-foot gondola multi-use. Of course. Of course. We don't have another gondola for just scrap, really? Well, let's check, because it should be in the thing here. If I didn't change it, then it's going to be here. Oh, right, we have the Zion and Skyline ones now. Because these are reskins of the DPR 50-foot gondola. I need to swap that out. CNS 50-foot gondola. CNS 50-foot gondola. Let's just do that. Nope, wrong button. This. Merge and center. CNS 50-foot gondola should have the... I mean, let me just double check, right? Because scrap would be 09. Wrong thing. 09. So this is load 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not, wait, what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, oh wait, this is scrap metal, not scrap. This one's scrap. Which, again, it's a 0 index, so, yes. So we pick up 2 loads of scrap. These are not the same cars as what's being brought in. So we need, because we don't have any ZNS gondolas on this, in this. Does anything else support... I mean, do these WLNG guns, do they have the same 7800? Nothing else holds the scrap. Nothing else. Although, those aren't in the list. They aren't in the list. Oh, it's Mill Gondola, blah, 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 blah. My bad. I was going to say, there's no way I forgot to put them in the list. Mill Gondola, yeah, okay, so it doesn't hold that at all. And then the scrap metal blue nothing holds that. So, we need 3 of the ZNS gondolas. ZNS 50-foot gondola. Yep, there we go. 1, 2, and let's just throw in a different one. The no logo one. Love these cars, by the way. Next up, wrong thing again. Next up, 2 of those, 1 of those, and then 3 more boxcars from Put Home Printing. Okay. So we need not a total of 8 boxcars. We need a total of more than 8. We need a total of 11. So we need to bring 5 with us. So what we really just have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 3 of those and 2 of these. And I think that might be it. We could bring empties for Mason Valley as well, which would make a lot of sense. Or sorry, Mason's Landing as well. We would need to bring in an empty carload for beer. Oh, speaking of which, we're bringing out 2 carloads of beer. We're bringing out 68 beer. Is that really 2 carloads? And did I screw up and not have 2 carloads waiting here? Or was I supposed to send one in the other direction? So we have this guy right here. Yeah, 34. That's supposed to be 2 carloads. Let me just double check. Excuse me. 2s. Size 136. So that means there's 68 units to begin with. Holy crap! I screwed that up. Thankfully, we can still just drop this in here. Or we could have the carload of beer get brought in a different way. For now, this is a tough call. Do we want both of them to go in one direction, or do we want them to split and one goes to Jefferson and the other one goes to Gilson City? This is a bit of a tough question. On the one hand, though, or, you know, being real here, it doesn't matter. They're both going to go on this train. One of them is going to go to Gilson City, like these 2 cars on the goods train. And then one of them is going to go to Jefferson, and we'll just have to figure that out when we get there. Yeah, splitting it to make switching more confusing. So that means we need to drop another car in here. We need to fill it with beer. And we need to look at this and say, what cars are going to Jefferson? And, I mean, we can maybe figure that out later if we have another freight train that's coming through. But honestly speaking, because of the way this is set up, we could have the freight train just stop here. But northbound freight trains, well, they have an easier time stopping here, but they also have an easier time stopping there. So, what I actually think I'm going to do... Where did these 2 boxcars come from, anyway? One of them came from here, clearly. The other one came from Stagnaro? Stagnaro. Hey, Mew. So these could all be put together, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just spin these around. Wrong one. There. Like so. So we'll sort those out a little bit later. We have our 2 carloads of beer. And so, yeah, we need to bring the empties in. We need to bring the empties for Mason's Landing, I think. Which means we need to bring in... I mean, obviously, the gons for the scrap metal are going to... The gondolas for the scrap metal aren't going to be a problem. They're going to just go back and forth from one to the other. Both of the carloads of scrap metal just go from Mason's Landing to Mason Valley and then back to Mason's Landing. We need 2 carloads for goods and then 2 cars for beer. So that's really all we need, huh? Because everything else is a consumer, not a producer. Unless... Oh no, because they don't have to go there. They can stay here. The cars for the industries off to the side with the creameries. I'm not in the right spot. So we just need to add 2 more boxcars, like so. And then 2 copper range boxcars. And there we go. That is the train. I don't know if that's the order it's going to be in, but that is the train. We need to have a train come through in the early morning that either drops off empty boxcars, or we just have to accumulate them through the day with the various industries that are going to be putting out empty boxcars. Now, 2 of them, or one of them, yeah, sorry, 2 of them, one of them's going to be from here, and one of them's going to be from here. So that's 2 of them. And we need to figure out what other deficit we have. I mean, one of them could be from, let's see. We have a team track up here, right? Yeah, we do. It's all the way in Lionhead. Lionhead has a team track. It's right there. This boxcard's emptied out. So we have 1, 2, 3 in total. What about over here? Do we have a warehouse or something that spits out empty boxcars? This does not. Does. This does. So there's 4. I feel like we can find more. 5. Oh wait, no. That makes goods. Those are different kinds of boxcars. 5, 6. So we have at least 6 that we can gather from here. I need like the runway numbers or something. Runway number. And what were these from? These are already there. Because I just want to mark them off by where they're coming from. I feel like I already have a method for this, and I'm reinventing the wheel here. Oh wait, I want to move this over. I'll just say that those two are already there. I will say that, let's see, we have one from Lionhead. We have one from uh, Lionhead, one from one of the other places, legitimate business company. Two from the hardware supply. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Which is the one that I'm missing. One from here. Two from here. I've lost the other one. 1, 2, 3. Right? 2, 3 down here. Oh, 4, 5 from the branch line. Right. Don't tell me I'm only going to need 1. 4, 5. And then one more. Let me just put this down in ideas or something, because this is, I don't know how to mark this out. I mean, this would be MLOL2, right? Because this is, oh sorry, no, this is GRR. This is OLML1. Origin Olive, destination Mason Valley. Actually, no, this is neither. This is OLBE. OLBE. Olive Bellington. Power GRR 2015. Description. Empties for MV/ML. Sheep. Loads from ML to BE. Goods. Let's just mark it down. Empty boxcars. 2 in MV. This is so freaking complicated. 2 in MV. 1 from LH. 2 from OB. 2 from OL. 1. 1 from OL. 2. Which is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus 1. Oh, shoot. Wrong button. I thought I said I needed 11. Thought I said I needed 11. Now I'm very confused. I thought I needed 8 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Am I too short? Did I forget these? I think I counted those by accident. Because we have, yeah, 2 for here. 2 for here. And then Mason Valley we have, no, 8 plus, wait a minute. 8 plus 3. 1, 2. 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. plus 8 is a total of no, it's 13. It's 13 minus this many, which this is 9, right? That equals 4. How many boxcars are we sending on this? 4. Nailed it. Okay, let's finish marking that down. Switch lists. Plus 1 from question mark, and more importantly, four in MV emptied. Now we just need to figure out where the 1 comes from. And that's just got to be a drop-off by a random manifest sometime during the day. Because we have an almost perfect goods load. If I remember right, if I go into industries and balance and I check commodity balance, we have an even 20/20, but that's because of this, right? This consumes 2 carloads in Voet. But that wouldn't add up. Olive. General goods, 20 and 20. Wait a minute, what? What am I missing here? Well, I'm not looking at the whole thing, so this is probably fine. Yeah, because we're going to be pulling cars out of the other places. Right? So I'm missing something. What am I missing? What is it that I don't understand about this situation? General goods. Have to relearn it every time. Is there... There's not another place here. Just because we have a good balance doesn't mean we have a carload balance, right? But that doesn't make any sense. I really need to see what's going on here. I feel like I'm missing something. But these are only the carloads being produced here of general goods. Wait a minute. Am I missing francs? Is that one that I already had down? Mason's Landing? Yeah, no, that's one of these. That's one of these. What am I missing? Granada Enterprise. Granada Enterprise. General goods out. Produces general goods. Which one is that? Oh, I know which one that is. Olive Pulp Mill produces goods, I guess. And then Cork and Sons produces goods. We might have to take this on faith. I don't think there's something that we're missing here. Because I'm not considering the whole picture. I'm only considering this area. I am losing it. Alright. In terms of mass and string lining, will you be putting the empties towards the back? That's a good question. Honestly, this train is almost all empties. The only other things that'll be on it are the sheep and I think they're either going to be at the back or the front, but I don't think it's going to matter functionally. Um, I think we're going to be okay. We're going to have to just take this on faith, honestly. But this is the thing. This is going to be an incredibly painful train to assemble because of all the different places it's going to have to come from. We're going to have to slowly put this together over the course of the morning. And we're going to have to wait for multiple things. Oh, look, we already built it. We're going to have to wait for multiple things, including the Lionhead turn to finish, which I don't even know how long that's going to take. So, I'm going to move these guys out of here. Actually, no, I think these guys were in here for a reason. I say that every time, but I still don't know what that reason is. Oh, man. Okay, so at least we figured out the empties, right? We know that we're going to have to assemble that train in one of these yard tracks. And we know that it will then eventually be grabbed by the diesel and run out to there and picked up by something. Hang on. Hang on, I'm forgetting something. This might be where I'm losing my mind here. Oh wait, no, there's no empty... Never mind, there's no singular boxcar on this. I take that back. Everything's fine. There's no singular boxcar. I thought there was for some reason. This, plus the 4 on the train, plus all the other ones, I think should be enough. I hope should be enough. The goods shed and the team track. Wait a minute. The goods shed and the team track. Oh wait, no, those are the two that are going already. Did I double count one of those? I hope not. Oh wait, what about this? What about this? This is another team track. This is the one. This is the one we're missing. This is the one we're forgetting about, I think. Or, no, not quite. It's just the imbalance is more striking than I expected. Wait a minute, what is that one called? Why are we bringing all these anyway? We're bringing these empties. But there are so many other things that are going to demand empties of us. So this train is not even half made yet. I started looking at... Oh, wait, no, empties. Empties. Right. No, that means there will be an extra car in this because there are 3 going out and not 2. Okay, so we do have balance. We do have balance. And I think that's in there, the back of the bay. Where is that in switch lists? Three from ML. There we go. And if we want, we can leave these empties behind for later. In fact, just leave them here as something to pick up in the future. And for now, they can just stay there. For now, it'll just be these 2 cars. This is going to be a humongous milestone when we get it done. Because it won't just mean that we can move some empties around. It'll mean that all of the switching for Olive can be done. Because this pulls in cars from the Olive the downtown industries, the Butler Industrial Park industries. Hey, wait a minute. We didn't even look at these. Yeah, I forgot this car's over here. Um, the downtown industries, the Butler Industrial Park industries, the um, the the Olive Branch Industries, the Lionhead Turn Industries, all of that. All of that is coming together in one, as one. So we need to switch all of this stuff out. And some of it has to wait for the morning goods train, which means I should probably set up the morning goods train. When would the morning goods train? Well, it's not on system yet is the issue. When would the morning goods train leave Gilson City? Probably no later than the first train out of probably no later than the first train out of back home, back here, Olive, which is the Olive Branch train. That train that's going to be a tricky one. That train is going to take maybe an hour to get here from Gilson City area. It's got to come in overnight, or in the morning rather, through Raven Bridge, through Bellington. So it's going to be dropping cars along the way, I would assume. So it's going to take even longer than that. Unless we have one specifically for Bellington that terminates in Bellington, because the engine facilities would be much greater there, and then maybe it exchanges engines there, and then comes further to Mace's Landing and Olive, or specifically to Olive. I've thought about this before, and I'd like to give it some thought now because we still have the time to do so. Not a morning person. I would hate to be at the controls of a train that early. Yeah, I know, but the stuff's got to get delivered. The only issue is it's trying to duck the morning rush. But it's really just in the middle of the morning rush. I mean, I don't know what else to say on that subject. It's going to be coming in here 100% in the middle of the morning rush. It's just got to slot in sometime after the first train here. It's going to pull in here, or it's going to pull in over here, and it's going to have some cars pulled off of it. How many cars pulled off of it? How many cars of general goods do we need for Olive in total? And that answer is, I think, 20. Because if we look at switch lists, if we look at industries and balance, commodity balance, from L10 to L67, from L10, or from 10 to 67. Oh, there it is. Yep. It's taking in 20 crates of general goods. 10 to 40, 10 to 67. If we look at these, they both do start at 10. So we're not like double counting or anything. It needs 20 carloads. So we're talking 20 carloads of general goods just for Olive and its assorted area. So again, I'm going to make another line in staging to sort of figure this out and figure out what power might be on here. And Olive might not be... I mean, it's not small, and it is fairly busy, but there are definitely going to be other places where where stuff happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is not a manifest. This is a goods train. This is the morning goods train. And it will be chock full of these general goods, 20 cars of which will go to Olive and its associated areas, industries, whatever. At least a further single car will uh, go to Bellington. If your line allows stick-ins of GP9s. I did actually have a GP9. We'll see. I want to cover power here in just a second, so hold that thought. We have the industries here. We're looking at the consumer industries. We're looking at... there are 2 more for Pan Am that are going to get dropped off, previous to this, and in Bellington probably, not in Pan Am. Because the goods train only makes the important stops. Oh, excuse me. So, there. And if I remember right, because we were waiting on a couple things, the Lionhead turn here, no, the Lionhead turn already has its crate of goods. Because I was kind of thinking, if we had this train come through wicked early in the morning, we could actually have it switch these cars on, but I mean, it's either going to come through early in the morning or it's going to come through late in the evening, and there's no 2 ways about it. The cars here that need to go out to all these places are already all here, so I mean, let's look at our list, because we have... These are obviously here. The 3 from ML are obviously here. I already put those down. The 1 from Lord Huron is here. The 2 from the Olive Branch are here. And then the only ones we're missing are the 2 from Olive and the 1 from Olive, which are here, right, and here. Sorry. Here. These. They just need to get switched out. We are not going to be waiting for that train to show up to switch these cars out. Instead, we will probably have them sitting in here because they got pulled off of a train late, or they are sitting in some other yard track because they got pulled off of a train late. In fact, I should probably look at what it's going to take to switch all these tracks out and make that what this track is dedicated to. I don't remember what this tank car's for. Clearly it's not for anything because it's just sitting there vibing. These are not, I guess, what you could call active tracks. Or, even better, those get switched out when the other train comes in. They get switched out during the day. Or in the evening or something. So these empties are already going to be here. Yeah, because we'd be accumulating stuff for this all day, instead of switching it in the morning and sending it out. We already have stuff that's all switched in the morning, all set from last night. Maybe those guys get switched in the evening, and therefore we would have 1, 2, 3 empty boxcars here to complete the set already. It's an interesting thought. These guys couldn't stay here if that's the case. In fact, I'm going to delete them. I'm going to delete them now, because I don't know what they are. 1, 2, 3 empty boxcars here to complete the set already in the morning. And we would just be waiting for everything else to be processed. We would be waiting for the olive branch train to finish its job in the morning, to add 2 to this. The lionhead turn to finish its job, to add 1 to this. These are already going there in the morning. And then, yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all the other ones are there. 7, 8, 9 to 13. It works. Where's my olive thing? Olive switcher runs in evening. It's a note to take. Can't believe we just came up with that. Can't believe that's what just happened. Can't believe it. And we could stuff them in one of these tracks instead during the day. I mean, that doesn't bother me. We've got all sorts of little stubs hanging around where we can just stick cars. We didn't do hardly any programming today, but we knocked some stuff off the list and we figured a hell of a lot out. And I'm super excited about that. And honestly, next time, please, F40PH, get me a reskin of the Georgia thing. Now that we know that it is possible, I will endeavor to get that thing replaced, and then we can run the trains. And once we can get, I know it's late in the evening, or later in the morning, like after 3 hours of session, if we can get the Lionhead turn to run, it will be incredible. These 2 are going to the coal mine, and then the thing that we need, I've mentioned it before, the thing that we need is, oh right, the power. We'll talk about that in just a second. The thing that we'll need is the 4 hoppers. 1 from the branch line, and then 3 that'll be parked over here. So we need the branch line train to come back, and the Lionhead turn can go out. Now, this morning train, originally I had it done with a set of F units. This will be the last thing we figure out, or discuss anyway, because I don't have many thoughts on this. Right now, if we look at the assets and timetables, look at the locomotives and cars, I'm fairly certain it's going to be done with either a Berkshire, which there's a lot of. Those would be good on these fast goods trains. Or done with a set of F units, which we have some of. There are also a bunch of Baldwins, which we don't... apparently, these have been reskinned, but they haven't been uploaded. Yeah, I mean, this is a transfer switcher. These are switchers. So it would either be these or these, which these are centipedes. So I think those would be reserved for the other side. So it's either going to be RF-16s, which we don't know if we can reskin, and are reskin in progress apparently, and or a set of F7s, probably an ABA set or an ABBA set. I don't have a lot of Jeeps. I don't know if I have any Berkshires. I don't know what Berks are available on the download station. Although, wait a minute, there's one built into the game, isn't there? But I don't think that can be reskinned. Pierre Marquette and 1 Berkshire. This is the fast freight thing, huh? Oh my god, it's the Polar Express! So yeah, it would either be this, or it would be, not coal, poor broken coal. Maybe it's under EMD. Oops, END, yeah. End of the episode. Oh, I have of course I have another broken coal. I don't have any F7s downloaded, I think. Or just F units in general. I don't know which ones would be available on the thing. But yeah, we've got some Jeeps. We don't need that. We need some F units. Or potentially E units, but probably F units for this. So, yeah. That'll be what it is. It'll, again, either be a Berkshire of some description or a set of Fs. And if we can get shark noses, then it'd be nice to see them. But I don't think we will. We've got these. We've got Fairbanks Morse engines. That's cool. Then this would not be a Fairbanks Morse kind of road. If I look at if we look at this again, yeah, they do not own any FMs. Also, H660 is in the wrong category. Oops. Yeah, the Trainmasters would all belong to the VMR, and the ZNS would have some of these as switchers and some C-liners. Yeah. Logo looks familiar. Yeah, it sure does, doesn't it? But we're going to wrap up here. We've figured an astounding amount out today. I think the next thing is going to be putting together and run program Lionhead turn. Because that'll be a hell of a thing to figure out. But next week, we'll continue alternating. We will do some scenery work. We'll see how much we can get done between here and the Road River, which is this one. If we can get some of this done by hand. It shouldn't be that much of a lift, honestly. But, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next week. I know it wasn't a lot of building, but it was a lot. This is the Admiral. I'll sit back here in Pan Am again. Signing off.